Bangladesh government committed serious human rights violations amounting to crimes against humanity, with over 1,400 people dying under former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government, a UN report claims. The United Nations report, released on Wednesday, accuses Hasina's government of systematically attacking and killing protesters as it fought to maintain power last year. The violence, which escalated from protests over civil service job quotas to widespread calls for Hasina's resignation, is said to have been carried out by security forces, Hasina's Awami League Party, and other government-backed groups. According to the UN Human Rights Office, there are reasonable grounds to believe that the government was responsible for crimes such as murder, torture, arbitrary imprisonment, and other inhumane acts against civilians. The report highlights the violence which was a part of, quote, widespread and systematic attack, unquote, on protesters and civilians during a 45-day period between July 1st and August 15th of 2024. The OHCHR estimates that as many as 1,400 people may have been killed, with most of them shot by security forces. Children make up to 12 to 13% of the victims. Volker Turk, the UN rights chief, stated, and I quote, "The top echelons of the previous government were aware and in fact were involved in very serious violations." Hasina, who fled into exile in neighboring India, has defied an arrest warrant for crimes against humanity which she faces in Bangladesh. Muhammad Yunus, Bangladesh's interim advisor leader of a caretaker government, welcomed the United Nations findings and expressed his commitment to transforming Bangladesh into a country where its people can live in security and dignity. Yunus had requested the UN investigation into the violence. The report indicates that the violent crackdown was coordinated by security forces, which supported the government's efforts to suppress growing opposition. Quote, "The brutal response was calculated and well-coordinated strategy by the former government to hold on to power," unquote, said Turk. The OHCHR also documented instances of lynchings and retaliatory violence by protesters against police and Awami League supporters. In addition to the killings, the report highlighted widespread arbitrary arrests, torture, and abuse, including gender-based violence and the killing of children. Local rights group OHCHR reported that several people have died in detention since Hasina's ousting, but Turk clarified that the UN investigation only covered events up to mid-August. While the UN praised the interim government's cooperation, it warned of significant challenges in Bangladesh's legal system. The UN is willing to cooperate with Bangladesh's judiciary to ensure justice, but insists the process must meet international fair trial standards. The use of capital punishment in the country also remains a concern. The UN emphasized the need for a comprehensive process of truth-telling, healing, and accountability to prevent future human rights violation and ensure justice for the victims.